And then he says, Yoi wa okay kana. Yoi wa. Yoi is preparation, arrangements, provisions. Again, wa topic marker. Okay. You'll hear my character say, okay des. Okay des. They're saying okay in English. Kana means a supposition. It's kind of like saying, shall we? Will we? What do you think about this? So he's saying preparations, arrangements. Okay, should we get started with going down the list of these questions? Dewa shitsumon, again question. Dewa, so therefore. Dewa is therefore, as a result of, in conjugation with. So he's saying as a result or in conjugation with everything we just went over. Now then, shitsumon stato. Shitsumon question. So he's saying, in spite of all that, yeah. Aside from all of that, let's begin. Let's begin with the questions. Stato questions. Stato shitsumon. So, direct translation would be now then, let the questions begin. Okay. So here we go with the questions. And these are not the questions I went over. I actually made a list. I guess he asks you. I did not realize he asks you different questions every time because I went over other questions. I already had the text written out. Okay. Hitori de iru to. So I think I can actually walk you through this one without too much staggering. Hitori de iru to sabishi. Yeah. Okay. All right. So hitori meaning one person. Solitude, it's talking about an individual. And then we have de, meaning a location marker. So hitori de, by oneself, at one's own location, by one's own side, all alone. An introvert, basically. Iru to, and I just want to double check here what iru to means. I don't want to be giving you the wrong information. I'm pretty sure I know what it means. Just want to be careful. Yeah, okay. So iru to just literally means, it's the word iru, meaning, informal version of imas, so being, existing by oneself. And then we have to, meaning with or together by. But I mean, to has various meanings. I'm not going to go through them all, but as a rough gist, it's kind of saying, with something, if something, when something happens, when at this particular instance. So it's like if you're by yourself, when you're by yourself, when you exist by your own side, by your lonesome. Sabishi. Are you lonely? Sabishi is lonely. So if you are an extrovert, then you would say, hi. Yes, that would be correct. If you're an introvert, then you would say no. Which is interesting, now that I really think about it, it's really interesting. Really, really interesting because this game was released over 10 years ago. Introversion and extroversion was not actually well known. And in Japan, it is not something that is widely culturally accepted, I would say. Japan has a very strict hierarchy, and they have certain standards, cultural standards and expectations. And introversion doesn't really fit too highly into those cultural expectations. And it's kind of a shame, but it interests me because in this world of Pokemon here, you're being asked to involve yourself in this own little world that's outside of the world you live in. And you're being asked, are you an introvert or an extrovert? I think that's awesome. I think that's really awesome. Just to show the thought that the developers put into really understanding the social difficulties that exist in in Japanese culture. I think that's so cool. So obviously, I'm not sure if you know this about me, probably already do, but I am an introvert, and I am absolutely going to say that I am not lonely when I'm by myself. Yeah, chigaimasu. Oi. Okay, so this next one's really interesting. Again, I did not get asked this on my first run through. I'll be going over the notes of what I went through later on. I'll be redoing this video to get all of the questions for you. But we have yakusoku, meaning a promise or a vow, a commitment. Yakusoku no jikan ni. Jikan is a time, a place, an hour at which something may have occurred. We have jikan ni, so we have the location of a time frame. Remember, ni means at or in. I have an appointment at 9 o'clock. In 2 weeks on November 7th. Ni would be used on the date as well. So we have jikan ni, meaning a time in existence, a place in time. Yakusoku no, and again, promise no modifies jikan. So a time in existence where a promise existed. Yakusoku no jikan ni, a place in time. So a promise in a promise at a place in time is what that means. Yakusoku no jikan ni. Tomodachi is a friend. And then we have ga, the subject marker. So we have yakusoku no jikan ni tomodachi ga konai. This is very interesting. This is a good grammar point to go over. So konai comes from the word kuru, which is a special class intransitive verb. I won't go over what all that means. I will just say that it has its own unique grammar points that go with it. So kuru means to come spatially, temporally. It's like in the aspect of arriving. It can also mean as an auxiliary verb to come back and do something again, to repeat, but kurikaisu is to repeat. So this is more like to return, to come back, to do something. But this particular instance is talking about to come to be. This is also an auxiliary verb, auxiliary. Anyways, it means to come to be, to become something. To continue to grow or reach a place in time. So it continues. So this is talking about continuing in a place of time, a promise made to a friend. And we have konai, which comes from kuru, but you don't say kurunai, you don't say kunai. Kunai is a weapon. Actually, it's a farming tool, technically. But konai is how, again, it's a special auxiliary verb that has its own unique grammar points. So this comes from kuru, to continue to grow to a place of something. So now it's talking about stopping growing that promise. So at any point in time, did that promise stop growing? Did you break that commitment? Did you break that vow? Did you stop keeping that vow to a friend? And then it's saying anata wa. So it's saying you. Did you actually do this? Be honest with yourself, you. Talking about you here, anata wa, we're talking about you. He kind of just drops this at the end. He doesn't start the sentence with it. He kind of causes us to pause and reflect. Like he says at the end of a sentence to kind of break us out of our thoughts, because this can be a very personal question. This requires some humility. And I remember the first time I read it, I was like, ooh, I gotta think about this one. And then he ends the sentence with anata wa. Again, you don't see this in the English version, but this guy's kind of saying like, hey, don't lie. Lying's not good. We're talking about you here. Just be honest. So we have this first answer. It's again interesting. This is an expression. Ira sasu. Ira sasu. It means to get beneath someone's skin or to be irritated by someone. And we have our first answer being ira suru. Suru means to do something. So we get this ira suru from ira sasuru, which is to get beneath someone's skin, and it actually comes from the word ira, which means to get annoyed, to be irritated, to be on the edge, to lose patience. So this is like saying I'm angry or annoyed that you would even ask me. Like, how dare you? Ira suru is like, I'm becoming annoyed that you would even ask me. Did I ever break a promise to a friend? I'm lucky enough to say, no, I did not. So there's that. Yeah, go me. But then we have nonbiru machitsuzukeru. Nonbiru comes from nonbiria, which means an easygoing person. Reminds me of Yoasuke from Shaman King. And then machitsuzukeru. So we have the second answer, nonbiri machitsuzukeru. Tsuzukeru means to continue going on in something. It's like to just, continue on a path. So we have nonbiri coming from nonbiria, meaning an easygoing or carefree person. And nonbiria, I guess, just means according to what I've understood from my little bit of research here. So a nonbiri means carefree. The characteristics of nonbiri, a carefree person. So nonbiri means to be carefree, to be easygoing, to be in a relaxed manner. Machi meaning a street, road, path, a place, a direction of going, a place, a street that you're traveling. So this person's saying, you know, maybe I don't really pay too much attention to it. Not really sure. I just kind of do me. I just kind of go on my way, and I'll keep going, and I don't really think about it too much. I don't really give it too much thought. And the third answer, okotte kairu. Okotte is to get mad or to get angry, and kairu means to go home. The third answer is very childish. But it basically is saying, I'm outraged that you would even ask me that. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. Goodbye. So yeah, neither of these two really seemed like a direct answer. They're like dodging the question. I'm kind of upset that this game didn't give you the chance to say yes. Your answer is either, I'm angry that you would even ask me that. Nonbiri machi tsutsukeru, I just carefreely keep going on my way. Or, I'm so angry that you would even ask me, I'm walking away now. Like, those are the three answers. Why are these the three answers? I don't understand. I'm annoyed, I'm furious, or I'm easygoing and don't pay attention. You know what? Whatever. We'll Okay.